Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we are covering Persian. Persian is a fantastic Pokemon. I really love it. By fantastic, it's got really high speed. It's got the ability to set up its special attack and I think also its attack. And it also has access to a lot of nice different moves. Being normal type as well, only being weak to fighting types is actually pretty handy. Also, right, so today we are covering Persian, as I've said, and a Lowland Persian as well. I've got 2 sets for each. Now, I did have Dynamax sets in my previous video, which I would recommend you go and check out after this. I think I had 3 sets for each Persian. So if you want to go and check that out, please do. There is a card up in the corner. Obviously, I'd recommend you watch this one first. Whilst I'm doing a bit of plugging, if you could please like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, it really helps me out and I would really appreciate it. I did hit 750 subs, but at the time of recording this, I've actually gone down a couple of subscribers. Whether that was due to YouTube's algorithm or people just messing with me, I do not know. But I would really love to get back up to 750 subscribers and make our way up to 800. Okay, so, well, after I've done that little bit of plugging, we have got Persian here. Persian is a fantastic Pokemon, as I said. First of all, I've got a Nasty Plot set with Technician. Nasty Plot Technician Persian is probably one of the most common ones that I've actually ran with Persian. I've put Life Orb on here as well, just that increases up your attack power ever so slightly. Now, base 65 in your special attack isn't the most amazing, but if you get a Nasty Plot up, that takes your special attack from 230 to basically 460, and then you have the Life Orb basically giving you an extra 135 on top of that, so that's basically taking you to 600 attack power. And then you've got things like Water Pulse, which is base 60 in power, being boosted by the Technician, so 1.5 times to base 90 power, and obviously doing a lot of damage to different Pokemon. Then I've gone for Thunderbolt. It's just another really good powerful coverage move. Honestly, Thunderbolt I find to be really handy just to cover a variety of different mons. And finally I went for Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice is powerful, normal type attack, hits a lot of different Pokemon for a good amount of damage. Now if you wanted to play with this a little bit more, you could definitely go for a Throat Spray on here instead of Life Orb, and that would allow for you to get that +3 in your special attack and do a little bit more damage. Now obviously knockoff could be a thing, so you could get rid of your Life Orb, so Throat Spray on here as well could definitely be something that you may want to use, but it's up to you how you decide to do it. EVs, there are a couple of slight variants on this. You can go max special attack and max speed with a timid nature, so more speed, less attack. Or you go for the modest nature, so more special attack and less attack. Honestly, I'm about equal on how I would run either of them. I think it would depend. If I was doing it generically, I'd probably go for the speed. If I was doing it in a draft league, I would probably calculate what you can outspeed naturally and then do it based on that. So that's what I would consider. Moving on to the second Persian, we have gone for 2 new Isle of Arm moves. Now, Persian with a choice band is actually pretty lush. We've got 239 in our attack stat there. Boost that by 1.5 times. That takes you to, what, 350-ish, maybe a little bit more. And then we've gone for Lash Out, which is a powerful Dark-type move. It hits a variety of different Pokemon, including things like Ghost types. Now, Ghost types can be quite scary for a normal type, especially if you don't have the coverage. Now, if you wanted to, you could always change that Lash Out into Shadow Claw or something like that. They are interchangeable, essentially. On here, it's just based on what you want to personally go for. And then Lash Out, if you had Intimidated or something, you'll get that 2 times power. So it's playing on what you think is going to happen. Lash Out is a bit of a risky move sometimes to run. We then got Skitter Smack, and now Skitter Smack is actually a really, really good move. I think it's definitely underrated. It is a powerful, I think base 70 power, bug-type move. It hits a variety of different Pokemon. I really like bug-type moves. I think they do hit a lot of different Pokemon, especially things like Psychic types and Dark types, which are both very, very common typings. And it also lowers the special attack stat of the opposing Pokemon by 1 stage 100% of the time. Now that can be really handy, especially if you've got something that is like Choice Specs. It makes it a lot less intimidating, so I think Skitter Smack can be really useful in competitive. I've then gone for Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot, powerful poison type attack. It's a variety of Pokemon, including Fairy types. Now, Fairy types, I think you would be unlikely to see a team without a Fairy type in generic, and also in things like Draft League. You've got Poison goes good against. God, I can't think. It goes against Grass types, and it also goes against Fairy types, which they're both relatively common Draft League Pokemon because they are quite versatile Pokemon. Finally, I've gone for U-turn. Now, U-turn is really good just to allow yourself to get out of there. Obviously, you have really high speed, so if you just come in and you're predicting your opponent's switch, you can just U-turn and get out of there. Or you can just keep on U-turning throughout the game just to kind of scout out what you need or just to get the upper hand, so that can really work well for you. EV's got max attack and max speed with a jolly nature, so more speed, less special attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. I really like using Persian with Choice Band. I would love for it to get something like Swords Dance to increase up its attack stat, but that's kind of the best that I've seen from it. Now moving on to a Lowland Persian. A Lowland Persian is much more of a defensive or a supportive Pokemon, but it still does have that really high speed. So I've gone for Leftovers on here. It allows you to get some healing going on, and we've got Fur Coat as the ability, which means your defense is doubled. Now, there's no drawback to that, which means it's absolutely really, really good. You've got Technician, which honestly on some of these sets isn't going to be necessarily beneficial, but it can definitely work in some scenarios, as you see. And then Rattled, your speed is raised by 1 stage if you're hit by a Bug, Dark, or Ghost type attack. Now, obviously, Ghost and Dark type attacks are not going to have a huge effect on you. Intimidate is not going to have a huge effect on you because realistically, you're probably going to go with special attacks, and your speed being raised by 1 stage can actually help you out in some scenarios. Now this one is a bit more of a supportive one. We've got Parting Shot, and our Parting Shot allows for you to be able to get out of there and lower the attack and the special attack of the opposing Pokemon by 1 stage. So let's say they've had a weakness policy activate or something, that can really start to mitigate it and make it much less worth. Also, we've got Dark Pulse. Now, if you're worried about Dark Pulse, because base 75 special attack isn't the most amazing thing, you could go for something along the lines of Foul Play instead, but Dark Pulse is a good Dark type attack that can actually do damage to different Pokemon. We've then got Toxic. Now, Toxic is a transfer-only move. You would have to transfer a Persian from a previous generation, already knowing Toxic, into the game, which you already have to transfer that to get an Alolan Persian regardless, so you just have to teach the Toxic before transferring it over. Now, Toxic allows you to start racking up damage on different Pokemon. It's really effective in breaking down some walls, which honestly Persian can't deal with too well from its attacking side. So going with the Toxic side can work very well. And then you can also stop setup sweepers in their tracks because it limits the amount of time that they will have to set up. And then finally, I've gone for Taunt. Taunt allows for you to stop things from setting up and stop things from recovering, because that can just be a pain in the butt. And also, you can stop things like Stealth Rocks as well, or hazards being set up, which again, can be a problem. EVs, there are a couple of ways of running this. You can run this as max HP, max speed with a timid nature, so more speed, less attack, and 4 EVs in special attack. Or you could run this as max HP and max defense with a bold nature, so more defense and less attack. It is up to you based on what roles you want Persian to fill. And finally, for a Lowland Persian, I've gone for a Throat Spray Hyper Voice set. Now, Throat Spray is a fantastic item, I think. Throat Spray Hyper Voice goes really well together. Just be careful of things like Throat Chop. I know it's not very effective against you, but it can definitely stop your Throat Spray from activating, which can cause problems. Again, we've got Rattled here, because Rattled, unless hit by a Bug type attack, it's not really going to be too much of a concern for you. If you are a little bit concerned, you could always go for that Fur Coat again, to allow you to have that defense there. Technician isn't really usable in this set. So on here we have Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice goes well with the Throat Spray. It allows for the Throat Spray to activate. Just be careful of things like Ghost types, but realistically a Ghost type isn't going to risk coming in on a Lowland Persian. We've got Power Gem, which is a powerful rock type attack. It's a lot of different Pokemon, including Bug types, super effective damage, which they are a problem for you. Dark Pulse, which is a powerful Dark type attack, hits a lot of different Pokemon, boosted by Stab, and it's fantastic. And finally, Burning Jealousy, another one of the new moves in the Isle of Armor update. And basically, if you have had if the target's had a stat rise this turn, it is a 100% chance to burn. So let's say that you've got a Scizor, for example, and it's gone for a Swords Dance. That Burning Jealousy, whilst it may not take it out because you haven't got the most special attack, it will burn it if it's gone for the Swords Dance, so that Swords Dance is more or less nullified. In fact, no, it's completely nullified. And also, a Lowland Persian is just generically really good with a Fire-type Pokemon, the Fire-type move there as well, because, you know, the Burning Jealousy can also hit Bug types. EVs go for max special attack and max speed with a timid nature, so more speed, less attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. As I said, there is the other video, and that does go through a lot of very different sets, and it also goes through some Dynamax sets as well. So if you want to go and check that out, I would recommend you go and do do so. I can't talk, go and do so, because there is a lot of variance there as well. Anyways, that is all for today, so please do like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you have enjoyed it. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.